Everyone, remain calm.
Back for more, huh?
Oh, yeah. That's how it always starts. But then later there's running and screaming.
Somebody talk to me! What is happening?
Welcome to Jurassic World.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Jurassic Park Podcast.
How long is it going to take for that to spread around the globe?
This was all John Hammond's dream. Hold on to your butts.
Seriously? Well, we're back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 418 of the Jurassic Park Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Jost, and we're here to discuss all things Jurassic. In this episode, we are celebrating 10 years of Jurassic World, the film that kind of changed everything. It just celebrated its 10th anniversary back on June 12th. That was last Thursday as of this recording. And while we didn't have an episode come out that day, we are here to celebrate today. We've got a lot to celebrate. I'm going to be going through, just a lot of random clips and things I found over the course of the past few weeks, kind of just sifting through some old footage and just kind of remembering things of the past. And of course, I did want to hear from a lot of the community members out there. So I reached out to a bunch of people and said, hey, let me hear something. I want to hear what are your thoughts on the 10th anniversary of Jurassic World. I give you my thoughts. We hear from everybody else. There's so much fun to be had in this. So we're hopefully just going to give you a nice little chill retrospective on Jurassic World. This is a movie that really informed everything over the past 10 years. Everything. Literally everything Jurassic over the past 10 years. So there is a lot to celebrate. Whether you cared about the last trilogy or not, there is something there that's worthwhile to discuss, to talk about. And when you listen to all these stories of people that, their lives have changed and so much has happened in these past 10 years, you can't help but feel like emotional about it and excited about it. So there is absolutely reason to celebrate. Also, I know I acknowledged our 10th anniversary here at the Jurassic Park Podcast just a few episodes or last episode. I don't remember when I was, but I wanted to do a little throwback. And if you don't realize, you can hear it. The intro was our retro intro and the music and everything. I wanted to go back to the basics for this episode at least, but I'm kind of enjoying it. Who knows? Things might change. I don't know. But I love this old vibe. It's reinvigorating. It's feeling good. And I am just in that awesome 2015 spirit. Even though I was much more like back down here. And who knows? Maybe we'll even hear some old recordings from myself at the very, very beginning of the podcast. So I'm just excited to celebrate Jurassic World. It's going to be a good time today. I really hope you enjoy it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and travel back in time 10 years to listen to some old clips and audio, some behind the scenes, some interviews, and so much more for Jurassic World on its 10th anniversary.
I'm really proud of you for going on this trip.
You're gonna have so much fun. And remember, if something chases you, run.
We have learned more in the past decade from genetics than a century of digging up bones. A whole new frontier has opened up. We have our first genetically modified hybrid.
We
just went and made a new dinosaur?
Probably not a good idea. Almost 40 feet high. Really think she climbed out?
Depends.
On what?
What kind of dinosaur they cooked up in that lab? Evacuate the island. She's a highly intelligent animal. She will kill anything that moves.
Oh, God.
After 14 long years away, the Jurassic franchise returned with Jurassic World on June 12th, 2015. The film went on to gross $1.67 billion worldwide, kicking off a trilogy of films starring Bryce Dallas Howard, Chris Pratt. We also got in this film Vincent D'Onofrio as Vic Hoskins, Ty Simpkins, and Nick Robinson as the two kids. We got Omar Sy as Barry. We got B.D. Wong coming back as Dr. Henry Wu. Huge stuff for us back then. And we also had Irfan Khan as the CEO, Simon Mizrahi. Jake Johnson, huge fan of his comedy. As Lowry, we had Lauren Lapkus as Vivian. Brian T. was Hamada. We had Katie McGrath as Zara, Judy Greer and Andy Buckley as the parents of the kids. Oh my gosh, it was incredible. We also got Jimmy Buffett in this movie. Wow, just crazy. And even Jack Horner was in there at one point. And we got a little cameo in a book of Jeff Goldblum. That was so cool. It was a incredible debut for the Jurassic franchise again, reinvigorating the entire franchise. Steven Spielberg was back producing this time. We had Frank Marshall and, of course, Colin Trevorrow directing this movie, really giving it some new life and some new energy as somebody who felt like, he was a semi-new director in the scene and felt like one of us, like a fan who knew this franchise, and that was just really cool. And then, of course, Michael Giacchino coming in to do the score. We knew we were in good hands with all of those people attached. So finally, after 14 long years, the park was open once again, and the fans were back. Everybody was back. We started new friendships. We made new podcasts and new fan outlets. Man, it was one heck of a good time. Now, we have a lot of creatives to listen to here today, but I wanted to go back to the start. Somebody who was there all the way back in Jurassic Park, and that was B.D. Wong, who once again returned to reprise the role of Dr. Henry Wu and give us some truly iconic scenes for this character in such short amount of time. He really gave us something special and changed the way we think about dinosaurs and our relation to them. And I just love this guy and this character and the way that he brought him to life.
It's 22 years later, and it's been a lot of fun because Colin has a great deal of passion and investment in honoring the characters as Michael Crichton wrote them, and has gone back to the book and I think done a pretty good job of recreating the person who he wasn't really in the original. The character that I play, Dr. Henry Wu, started out as a chief geneticist at Jurassic Park and has now worked his way up to be running the Hammond Creation Center, and he's full of pride and a sense of he's just very pridefully kind of explaining to people in the beginning of the movie the new things that they're exploring. They're exploring new things because they have taken the technology to a really extreme depth. And that extreme depth leads to death. It's a kind of, really kind of a hubris of mankind that creates something that at first seems so unbelievably wonderful and fascinating, and delightful, gives people entertainment and delight, and then turns very, very bad at the end.
Now, while we're celebrating 10 years of Jurassic World existing, I wanted to take a second to go back in time and hear what Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt and Colin Trevorrow had to say about the celebration of joining Jurassic World. What was that like? Because I know it's made billions of dollars since Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, Dominion. It wasn't like a sure bet. Nobody really knew after that much time, would Jurassic World succeed? It was always going to be a gamble, but I think in their case, it paid off.
I don't remember how I celebrated, but I do remember how it felt. It was surreal. I was really excited, and I Guardians of the Galaxy had not come out, although we had filmed it. So I didn't know how that was going to be received, and I was just grateful that I'd gotten another job, because part of me thought Guardians of the Galaxy was going to be a huge flop, just like everyone predicted. And I was like, well, at least I got another job lined up. That's cool. It sounds like it could be really good. I remember talking to my manager, who's got incredible discernment. She was like, boy, this feels like it has all of the makings of a massive movie, and the story is really great. The filmmaker's amazing. I think this is a go. And so when they offered it to me, and I was of course accepting, I just remember thinking like a sense of relief. There's a cloud of uncertainty that follows most actors around, and that cloud seemed to dissipate for what would be at least a year of my life, and I was really grateful for that.
Yeah, being invited to do Jurassic World, like what Chris said, was one of the kind of most surreal moments of my life. And I remember meeting Colin. We did like a Skype call. He told me the story of Jurassic World, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's really sharing like some spoilers here. This is kind of amazing. And then a few weeks later, he called me, and he was at the top of a mountain in Hawaii, and was just like, hey, I've been trying to reach you because I wanted to ask you to be in our movie. And I think I sat down very slowly. I think that's kind of what happened.
That's
I was
how you
sort
celebrated?
of like, yeah, that's how I celebrated, was I sat down very slowly. I was pretty stunned. I was definitely stunned.
I don't remember celebrating that. I probably have learned since that I should celebrate the moments along the way. I took it as a great responsibility. I took it very seriously, and I don't think that I've stopped feeling that way about it in the 9 years since that day. Maybe now, if people like this movie, I will finally celebrate.
I still find it very fascinating that Universal basically handed the keys over to Colin Trevorrow, and of course you had people like Steven Spielberg and Frank Marshall and people like that really helping to craft something incredible here, but they handed those keys over to Colin, and I think he created something extra special. But obviously a wide range of people behind him, from set designers to casting people who are costume designers, all these people who really set out to make this a believable world. And every moment of that movie is believable. Every single moment of it. And it's incredibly wild. And I think we take it for granted how much they actually built there, how much of it was real, and they were trying to make it feel real. It all just works so incredibly well together, to the point that it feels like a real theme park, and Universal Parks are kind of copying what they did in that movie. So it was a back and forth. The movie copied the parks are now copying the movie. I love it. It's really impressive what they created, what they brought to life, how they made it feel real and embodied an actual theme park. So let's go ahead and listen to some people talk about bringing that to life.
Jurassic World took a lot of dreaming and then a lot of research on how theme parks and resorts have been built in the modern world, how they function. We went to Universal in Orlando and looked behind the scenes at the control room and how they actually operated, and so we wanted to make something that was indelible, that was iconic in its own way, that felt real, because we were actually going to build it, and that set existed. And at the time, I don't even know that I realized how rare it is to build a set the size that we built when we made Jurassic World. And now I look back on it, and I can't believe that we did it.
And then we took over the abandoned Six Flags theme park.
It was under 6 feet of water as a result of Hurricane Katrina. And so they let the park go, and it just sits there completely unused. But it happens to have a parking lot that's about the size of 10 football fields. So we went and built certainly the biggest set that I've ever built that just goes on and on and on.
What Colin was really going for, and I think that we hit this pretty well, was he wanted it not to be sort of Coney Island-like. He wanted it to feel more like a really hip, elegant destination.
We wanted to create this high level of luxury. We wanted it to feel like a Fiji resort with dinosaurs.
One of the very fun things for me was my good friend Jimmy Buffett's restaurant, Margaritaville, is sort of the marquee restaurant there on the main street.
We put in Winston's, which was shout to Stan Winston. There were a lot of little buried things like that.
You develop the set and you build it, and there's this long design curve and building curve, and then all of a sudden there's 800 extras walking around.
The most we ever had was 1,000, but we dressed several thousand because they, every day we had new people. They wanted new people all the time.
Please keep it quiet so that the crew can continue to work. We are rehearsing inside. Thank you very much.
And the first big day that we had 1,000 extras, I think we got to work at 3 a.m. and started dressing extras. We'd pre-fit a lot of them. We had pre-fit the uniforms, but we had a lot of people coming in that day. And I like to, when an extra comes in, you look at them and say, okay, what is your character? So it's kind of fun. It's like you give every extra their 15 minutes of attention to get them dressed and figure out their character. You look good.
Thank you.
You're done.
Nothing else?
No.
All right.
The performances of these extras were incredible. I mean, they were truly horrified, and there was nothing in the sky.
In Titanic, when they were trying to break open that door and everyone was just, that's what we're going for.
It's amazing how committed they became, and I think everybody shared this truth. They're like, oh my God, we're in a Jurassic Park movie, you guys. And we all just kind of became kids for a day. And I haven't made enough of these movies to not be really enthusiastic all the time. So when you get me on a set with 1,000 people who are all running from, flying dinosaurs, there's an infectious energy to that.
And cut it!
While I was going back through some old footage and interviews, I had this idea pop in my head that Barry was such an unsung hero here for the Jurassic franchise, and especially Jurassic World. He had, a smaller role, but it was somebody that was incredibly memorable, somebody from France who made an impact in this movie and created this character in a short amount of time that really stuck with us. And of course, we know he popped up in Jurassic World Dominion, and of course in Jurassic World Chaos Theory as well. He's somebody that's just stuck with us, and I think it's because the enthusiasm behind the actor Omar Sy. He is incredible. He's so happy to be a part of this movie, this franchise, and I just loved listening to this little interview here. He talks a little bit about the park itself, the world, and Jurassic Park, being a fan and all that. So let's take a listen.
Jurassic World it's an amazing park, a functioning park with rides, with a lot of dinosaurs, with shops. It's like the dream came true. Jurassic Park, the first one, was something international. It wasn't just for the US. The movie has a big fan community all around the world, especially in France. I know the community fan in France is very, very big, and I think it's one of the reasons I'm here. It was just like a child dream to be here with in Jurassic World. Jurassic Park. So I remember that at the time when I saw Jurassic Park, the first one, it was the first time in my life to see like real dinosaurs, because before that it was toys, or it was on black and white movies like with mechanical dinosaurs. And when I saw the Jurassic Park, the first one, it was in the first time in my life I saw a real dinosaur moving and being like in life.
He's just infectious, right? Like, I love it. I love listening to him talk about Barry. But somebody else that I love to hear speak about their character was Irfan Khan and his work as Simon Mizrahi. Now, we're going to hear him speak directly from the set. He's in costume. He's ready to go. And, it's certainly bittersweet looking back on these 10 years that he is no longer with us. And, he went through his own struggles and everything. So this is a guy that I'm going to look back on fondly for everything he brought to Jurassic World.
He owns this park. And I think now the park has matured. It has, the dream which Hammond saw once. I think Masrani has brought it to his. He has nurtured it, and now it's in full. It has blossomed to perfection. It has all kind of rides. It has all kind of stuff going on, and they're also experimenting with different dinosaurs, different species. And Masrani is an industrialist. He's a entrepreneur. He owns many businesses, and one of his possession is Jurassic Park as well. But Jurassic Park has a special space, special significance for him.
Now, somebody I absolutely had to include on this retrospective is Courtney James Clark. And even more specifically, because Courtney has been sharing a lot about Jurassic World over the past few days, and her character, Sarah, the mosasaur trainer. And there's been some awesome clips that she's been sharing and, kind of living in the life of a mosasaur trainer back in 2015, I guess. It's awesome. Go check out her work at Court J. Clark over on Instagram. But here is some audio of Courtney back from the premiere for Jurassic World. And again, I just love this infectious, excitement about being in a blockbuster movie like this. I think it's really special to hear from people like Courtney. So let's take a listen.
I'm so excited. The music and all the greenery. It's so exciting.
Tell us about your role in the movie, because not a lot of people would say, oh, I know what you were up to, but what a big part. What a good part.
Yes, I play Sarah. She works at the park. She's a mosasaur trainer, the big water dinosaur, the one that comes up and eats the shark. So that was my dinosaur, like SeaWorld-esque, so that's what I do.
In that particular moment, the Mosasaurus has made such an impact online. It's got such a huge following and is like sort of the rock star of the dinosaurs right now.
I know.
And you were in charge of it, and you kicked off the Super Bowl commercial. What about all this? How do you feel?
First off, I freaked out when it kicked off the Super Bowl commercial. I was calling my mom. I was at a Super Bowl party, and I went in the bathroom, and I was like, oh my God, Mom. I'm like, listen to it. Because when it first started, everybody I knew was like, shh. So they missed all of that stuff. So we went and rewatched it, and there's times when I've taken a nap or I'm going to sleep, and the commercial comes on and I hear the voice and I'm like, I recognize that voice. And I'm like, oh, that's my voice. Oh, that's how I know that voice.
And what is the line that we all know? I think it's just, all right, everybody.
Yeah, it's okay, folks. She's a little shy. That's the line.
I love it. And now, from that time, this is pure movie magic. So when you were shooting it, you didn't exactly know what the heck was jumping up. But
right.
Now, if you want to talk about size, scope, scale.
I know.
Here.
I know.
What's it feel like to be at this premiere from there to
so here? Exciting. I've been kind of emotional all day. I've been kind of a weirdo about it. Having moments of crying because I'm so happy. And I get to be a part of something that as a child I loved. It's so cool. And everyone in the film is so awesome. And they poured their heart into this. And so this has to be one of the most exciting things I've done thus far.
Well, this, if anything, is pure Hollywood movie magic.
Yeah.
And when you go into that theater, what are you most excited to see? Of course, besides you.
Right. No, I'm excited to see every little ins and outs of the park. They have Margaritaville there and stuff. I want to see all of that. All the stuff that we we connect with and recognize and stuff. I want to see all of
Well,
that.
they made it look like a real park and a real place, and you were all part of that. So I want you to feel like a part of it and have a great time tonight. Just enjoy Rome and own this carpet.
Oh, yeah.
But speaking of the Mosasaurus, I wanted to share some more insight into this incredible creation because we had never seen anything quite like it in Jurassic before. And now, you know, in the future here, in 10 years past Jurassic World, we're still seeing this creature, this magnificent Mosasaurus, be a part of this universe. And it was all stemming from Jurassic World and everything that they put into creating such a magical whale-like species. You'll get to hear them talk all about making it feel like a natural animal, like a whale, and how that would react to people in the park. And I think it's really special. So I'm super glad that they added the Mosasaurus. It was a really different and new dynamic piece of the puzzle here for Jurassic World. And yeah, I love it. And I wish it was included more in the previous movies. But hey, there's always a future.
Another one of our new dinosaurs was the Mosasaurus, and Colin really wanted something in water because that would set it apart from all the other dinosaurs we've seen. We really haven't seen one in the water.
Okay, folks, let's see if she's still hungry after already eating today.
I showed you this image of the Mosasaurus coming out of the water and eating a shark. And I kind of realized in the moment, oh God, he's eating a shark. Is Steven going to think that I'm making some kind of statement about Jaws here? And I wasn't, and you were on board with it.
We did some initial studies of how it would come out of the water. Well, if you look at a humpback whale, it weighs 50 or 60 tons, but it's very easily able to breach and come completely out of the water and splash back down. So it's not impossible for an animal that size to be able to do what we're seeing the mosasaur can do.
What was difficult was making it feel as grounded in a science as possible, because that's one of the things that these movies have subsisted on forever, is that it felt that even though it was sci-fi, it was based in some science that was happening around us. And right now, I'm sure a lot of people have dogs that are hybrids of various breeds, and it's something that we know. And we thought we could take that and build it into something fearsome that had certain attributes from various animals that would have been incorporated into it. And one of the other advantages that we had is because this park isn't entirely reliant on mosquitoes anymore, we were able to have an underwater reptile that was a new addition to this film. And the idea of creating something new that is going to eat one of the most fearsome predators that we know on our planet for lunch was exciting. And so we tried to tie these animals into animals that we know as much as possible.
Right. Now, of course, Jurassic World was not without its controversies. There was plenty out there. Even before the movie came out, people talking about the scene with Owen and Claire at Owen's little trailer. Or, just listening to Colin talk about the scientific aspect of it and, people wanting more, I guess, from that part. But one of the other pieces of the puzzle was, and to quote, the online community, the fact that we got one of the most brutal and horrific and unnecessary deaths in all of any movie ever. And that is Zara, the assistant there, who died via Pteranodon and mosasaur and just a lot, maybe drowned, I don't know. There was a lot that went into that death. And was it over the top? Yes. Was it, could it have been avoided? Sure. What? I don't know. I feel like that's what Jurassic has always been, though. There's always a moment of an unnecessary death. And the way I've always seen it is dinosaurs don't care whether you're a good person or a bad person, whether you've done the right thing or not. They're going to get you no matter what. So that's always the way I saw the Zara clip. And to go back and listen to the way they develop scenes like this and to hear from the person that played the character and to, the direction and everything, I think it's really interesting to kind of focus on that and go with what they originally intended for this, not what the online general audiences have said about the character and the situation. So let's get a little bit of insight from that moment in time.
It was actually a pretty good handshake between both doing practical stunts and also the visual effects.
The camera is here and it's moving this way. But don't just stand there, you little boom. But British.
Zara's death is a big kind of moment in the Pteranodon attack sequence. A lot of very complicated beats and a lot of complicated visual effects beats as well.
I'm about to die in like a very cool way. They're gonna pull me up on that crane, straight up in the air. There's like 8 people around me. It's so that I don't really die, because that's a possibility. My mom would be upset.
Bigger mark.
She runs on into camera. She has no wires on her. The camera moves around the boys and sees their reactions to what's going on. And by the time we circle back around the boys, the stunt crew has come in, hooked the wires onto her harness, so that as we come around and land, you can press the button and fling her out of frame.
All of the stuff you see with her is actually her doing those stunts, and we're adding the dinosaurs around her and interacting with her. It's a pretty amazing piece of stunt work. Actors generally don't do as aggressive stunts, and she was really game to do whatever it took.
You can see in the movie there's no face replacement. That's all her.
Then we got her into a tank and actually tied her up, and they were yanking her up and down out of the water.
I've been pulled on a harness, dropped from a crane. I've been dropped in the water. I've been held underwater. I've been pulled out of the water, dropped in the water again, held out of the water, and then finally eaten by a giant water dinosaur.
I just think it's the most epic Jurassic Park death I could possibly imagine.
And of course, there was at least one other very controversial moment from Jurassic World, and that was the inclusion of the high heels that Claire Dearing wore throughout the film. We've heard a lot about these high heels over the years, and a lot of outcry and a lot of support and non-support, whatever you want to call it. There was a lot of conversation around these heels, and I'm not one to speak on it. I don't wear heels, but I know that they can be a painful thing, but I also know that they can be a position of power for the person with them. So I like to defer back to Bryce Dallas Howard, somebody who was right there at the center of it all. And just to know what exactly was going through Bryce's mind, through the character's mind, and just hear what Bryce has to say about it. Because that's, at the end of the day, that's what I want to know, and that's what I care about. What did the character, what did the person wearing them think?
Fun.
We've got to talk about that running, because people could suspend disbelief about dinosaurs roaming around the modern world, but people couldn't believe that Claire would be running in heels. They could not wrap their heads around that. Were you surprised that people noticed or even cared that much about that?
No, because the whole time I was like, this is really challenging. Like the entire time of shooting. I hate complaining. Complaining is like the worst. And so like in having heels, there was the option of either keeping the heels on or at one point, like just, taking off the shoes and going barefoot.
Right.
And I was like, when that day came, when I needed to make that decision, I was like, I'm going to keep the shoes on. I don't want to run barefoot in the jungle every day for work. Like that sounds a little, ugh. And then when the movie came out and folks noticed and stuff like that, I was like, thank you. Like I'm glad you observed that. Yes. And I think it works for the character because it's like, yeah, when you're a corporate executive like that and you have been wearing heels every single day of your career, yes, you can outrun a T-Rex in heels. Absolutely.
Now, I wanted to take a second to listen to some audio from Al Nelson, the sound designer, on Jurassic World, and just to hear some of the things that went into creating the sounds for the Ankylosaurus. We always hear all the behind the scenes from like the older movies about making the Velociraptors and the T-Rex and the Dilophosaurus and all that good stuff, but I want to hear about something that, it really took its time to shine here in Jurassic World. And then, of course, across Chaos Theory, Camp Cretaceous, those shows as well. The Ankylosaurus with Bumpy, but here in Jurassic World, it ties directly to Bumpy, actually, in this moment, which is so incredible. But I just love hearing people talk about what animals, what things inspired, the sound design. So let's go ahead and listen to Al Nelson describe all of those things for the Ankylosaurus.
The Ankylosaurus started as this passive dinosaur just hanging out and chewing on grass. And I was at the zoo one day, and there was this sea lion there. And it just would swim around and go, wah, wah. And I thought, that's a great sound. And I didn't know what I'd use it for, but as this Ankylosaurus scene took off, I thought, well, that's kind of a pathetic and bellowy sound. That'll be fun. Here's our sea lion. Colin and ILM started playing around. It became much more of a part of the film. I kept seeing new updates and going, wow, this thing's got to do more than just, I probably threw something else in there, but that main sort of plaintive bellow is our sea lion.
Of course, there's just way too many people and conversations and things to highlight for this 10th anniversary, but somebody I really wanted to touch on here is Michael Giacchino and his incredible work on Jurassic World, and we're going to hear him talk about that and getting that opportunity and what it was like, but I think it was really special because you come back here, after 14 years of no Jurassic music. John Williams has been away since 1997, and he has to create a brand new identity for an operating theme park, and I think he did an incredible job. And I look back on, the episodes that I did when they released the first bits of music for Jurassic World and thinking about pinpointing oh, that must be from a helicopter scene where they're flying around the island, or this is definitely an attack sequence or whatever. I loved listening to those for the first time and hearing that, and I think he really created that world so beautifully. So he was able to take something like the Lost World video game, which you can hear right here, and turn it into this. It's just absolutely mind-blowing that Michael Giacchino existed all the way back in the Lost World days, making Jurassic music for video games. And then he just, his career exploded, obviously. I think he was doing, it was like Alias or something, but like Lost, and then, of course, all of his movie scores. And it's just incredible that he was able to not work on just one Jurassic score, but 3, and create some truly incredible music in this first film. And I wanted to hear him talk about that again. So here he is at the film premiere for Jurassic World.
We have you right here, captive audience. Give us the story in a nutshell. How did you get here?
Literally, I was producing video games for DreamWorks Interactive at the time, which Steven Spielberg was, of course, a founder of. And they were doing a game based on The Lost World, which he was directing at the time. And so they had a meeting. They were supposed to show him some animation. And they said, my friend downstairs knew that I wrote music. He said, could you write a piece of music for this meeting? I need something to put behind the animation. I'm like, sure. So I wrote this piece of music. I gave it to him. And then Steven came over. They had the meeting. And he asked if he could see me. So I came downstairs, saw Steven. Steven said, I love that music you did. And when are we going to record this with the live orchestra? You have to do it with the live orchestra. And that sort of set me off to be standing right here today. And it was the weirdest thing in the world. So to be doing, a Jurassic Park related project now, all these years later, it's a crazy gift. It's great.
And the music for these films is so iconic for the past films, and you've introduced a whole new theme to it.
Yes.
How's it feel to also contribute to that legacy and lore of what people are going to be humming, thinking, and reminiscing and feeling a soft spot in their heart for?
I feel so lucky. It just feels, it's also in a lot of ways, it's very cathartic. For me, it's like coming home, because it was a beginning for me. And then to put music that stands aside one of my heroes, John Williams. To me, it's almost crazy town. I can't even fathom it or understand it, but I'm so happy to be here and be a part of it. So,
being here tonight is pretty spectacular. I mean,
Oh,
no
yeah.
bigger premiere I've ever seen.
I know. I mean, I don't know why, but I didn't think it would be this huge. I was just, but when, and then coming up here, I'm like, oh my God, this is again, it's hard to wrap your head around it. It's crazy.
You know, I gotta say, it's gotten me kind of emotional thinking about this episode and putting it all together, assembling all the clips, listening to the music, and it's special. 10 years of Jurassic World has finally hit us, and 10 years of doing this podcast and being friends with everybody out there and getting the chance to just hear from so many people and make so many friends and just be a part of something really, really cool because of this movie. You know, we talk about it all the time that it wasn't Jurassic World that got me started in this fandom. I got started back in 1993, or maybe even a little bit before that, when my mom was reading the novel when that came out. So I've been a lifelong fan, but we always talk about, and not just me, but a lot of people talk about that time period where it felt like it was just you and it was nobody else. But Jurassic World absolutely changed that in every possible way. And I know, you know, it can get a little bit sour out there online when people talk about the Jurassic World trilogy and the direction things head, you know, these days. But I think when you look back on absolutely everything that this franchise was able to accomplish and, you know, just get kicked off from Colin Trevorrow and choosing the right cast with Chris and Bryce and everybody else, and the composer with Michael Giacchino, it really was absolutely special. And, you know, me getting the chance to go see that on my wedding weekend, just before getting married, that was special in and of itself. It's like an origin story for so many things. And I just love Jurassic World for that. So no matter how sour things get out there when talking about this trilogy, I think Jurassic World really kicked things off into a new gear and gave us all a place to really sit back and enjoy and have a good time as fans and collect things. And my life has incredibly changed since that moment this movie came out. Like I said, I got married 2 days later. I got a home like a month or two later. I've had 2 kids now. A lot has happened in 10 years. So, you know, we've not only personally has things changed, but like I'm looking around me and just seeing all the Jurassic artwork and things, you know, like I'm looking at these posters here, which have like the Ride the Gyrosphere, the River Adventure, Pteranodon Flyers. I know that's some Universal Orlando things, but they blend so well with the actual in-world stuff that it's just awesome. And then to have seeing all the different iterations of toys around this room and merchandise, you know, getting the 3 3/4 inch Jurassic World characters, Jurassic Park characters, but then, you know, going over to the Amber collection and getting that scale with the 6-inch figures. And then now we're on to the Hammond collection and the smaller higher end figures. And just, you know, thinking back to all of the things that Mattel sent us over the years, and boy, it's just all really, really special. I love it. I really do. And I think Jurassic World is not like a perfect film by any means, but I think it's something that we can all look back on and say, man, that period of time, you know, that's the special thing, right? That I'm realizing it right now while I'm talking with no notes or script. This is all just off the brain. But like, I'm realizing that it's not even about the movie, right? I just listened to a bunch of clips and assembled everything about the movie itself, but it's not really about the movie, this 10-year anniversary. It's about everything else that it spawned, the relationships the theme park changes, the live tour, getting animated TV. It gave us animated TV and years of toys and merchandise, and now we're past the Jurassic World trilogy era, and we're on to something new. And man, it's not even about that movie. It's about everything else that it gave us, all these friendships and all these good times, and the amount of people that I've actually had the chance to meet in person because of this. It's truly inspiring and awesome, and I just I'll push anybody out there to go do something that you like to do, you enjoy to do, because it'll get you to and to get you to people that are incredible, to places that are very cool. And I think that's something that everybody can do, and just talk about something that you like. And for me, it's Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, all of that good stuff. It got me into everybody's ears right now. So that's pretty special to me, and I think that's the lasting legacy of Jurassic World is all of us being here today, listening to this show, or just celebrating it, seeing everybody pour their heart out for this movie has been really, really cool. And I know we're, if you're listening to this, it's a few days past the actual 10th anniversary date, but man, it's really cool. And it's, Jurassic Park 30th got a bunch of months to celebrate. So I think we can celebrate Jurassic World 10 for quite a while now. So I hope you've enjoyed this look back and my talking about this and everything. But I am not the only one who is excited about this 10th anniversary. We have so many other people that I was able to get a hold of and request some audio from. So I do want to hear from each and every one of those people as well. So let's go ahead and open up our hearts to everybody else out there that has something to say about the 10th anniversary of Jurassic World.
Hey there, Muzammil here. Looking back on the last 10 years of Jurassic World, it's been feeling very surreal. This time, 10 years ago, I was actively graduating high school. All I could really care about, with senioritis kicking in, was graduating and seeing the movie. And I was pretty worried about, becoming an adult. And seeing this movie that opening weekend just reminded me that a piece of my childhood could remain as I grow older. And that was such a bittersweet feeling. And, going into these 10 years, it's really amazing that we have so much content coming out. From the movies, the shows, theme park attractions, toys. I remember back in middle school for me, there was Toys R Us in Times Square, and they had maybe 5 toys there, and I felt really sad because I felt like Jurassic deserves a lot more love than that. And lo and behold, we have so much more, and it shows it's been such a great time these past 10 years to be a Jurassic fan. And I also have to shout out the online community. I feel like it's been great getting to know so many of you, making friends, and I feel like I've been growing as a person, getting out of my shell a bit, with a lot of the creative projects that I've been working and collaborating with many of you guys, and the online interactions. It's it has its ups and its downs, but overall it's been wholesome, and overall it's been such a bittersweet feeling. So I really appreciate it all. So happy 10 years of Jurassic World, and hope the new era that we are entering is just as bittersweet.
Also, on the note of theme park attractions, I want to highlight what Universal Creative has done over the years. 10 years ago, you wouldn't have seen me on roller coasters. I wouldn't have dared to go on. But the attention to detail that they have done has convinced me to go on them and conquer my fears. So ultimately, I also want to acknowledge that because of these attractions and everything, I feel like I've become a braver version of myself.
Verizon Wireless presents the Indominus Rex.
Oh, that is so terrible.
Happy 10-year anniversary, Jurassic World. That 10 years feels like it has absolutely flown by. I can still remember seeing the original film. When I say the original film, I mean Jurassic World. 5 times in the cinema, and just being so enamored by the viral immersive marketing that Universal were rolling out at the time. I remember going onto the Isla Nublar website day in, day out when it was the actual resort, and looking at the park cameras and really wanting something to happen, wanting a glimpse of the Indominus, a glimpse of something else. So it's a special time to look back on for me, because it was when I was at college, it was when I was studying creative media, and it was such a source of inspiration and really a big determining factor in terms of what I do for work today. But more than that, for me, the past 10 years has really been about friendship and community. And when I look back on the past 10 years, it's crazy just how much Jurassic World has shaped my life. I mean, as an 18-year-old, I flew out to America, my first time going on a plane, mind you. I flew out to America on my own to meet Brad, to meet other people at a wedding, and these were all pen pals I'd never met before, people who were friends through this community. And that, I think, in itself is just a microcosm for how this community really brings people together. You know, I look at what we've done through this podcast over the past 10 years. I mean, right after Jurassic World, starting with the Innovation Centre, reaching out to Brad and asking if I could record a segment, and kind of finding my feet and working out how I could get more involved in this community. Doing stuff throughout the rest of the years, our live stream during COVID where we brought people together, the Jurassic World Evolution unofficial meetups at the Natural History Museum, and then those what have almost become synonymous at this point, the review cycles with Camp Cretaceous, with Chaos Theory, Brad and I working together collaboratively to deliver content, and then getting to engage with you guys around that content, getting to see the same names and the same faces popping up in the comments, popping up in the live streams week in, week out. It's just really, really special. And then there's Tales as well, you know, Tales from a Jurassic World, building an audio fan drama that is entirely made possible by the community, by people who care about this IP as much as I do, that they want to lend their time and lend their talent to really getting involved in that project and supporting it. So that is absolutely what these 10 years are about for me. They are not just a film, they are all the friendships, the sense of community and the camaraderie that has come along with those films as they've released, and also kind of the sense of purpose and I suppose sense of being that this film and the subsequent entries have brought to my life. I am eternally grateful that Jurassic World has led me on this path where I've met so many interesting people. I've got to do so many awesome things that I would have never dreamed of, and ultimately I feel for me as a creative person it has been a massive, massive net positive. And yeah, Brad, I mean, if you're listening, friends with people like you because of this, and I couldn't ask for more than that. So 10 years, it's very special.
This will give the parents nightmares.
10 years. 10 years. That's crazy that 10 years has just flown by. It's Jay Jurassic here, and I just want to say happy anniversary or happy birthday to Jurassic World. 10 years. And like the day before, it was the anniversary, I think 32 years of Jurassic Park. And as much as Jurassic Park has really solidified my life, has been a big part of my life, honestly, it was Jurassic World that led me to all the friends I have today in this community. And it was Jurassic World that led me to this podcast. And if it wasn't for Jurassic World, I don't know if I would have all these friends online. Because I put my fishing lures out there and see like who's a Jurassic Park fan. I used to, when my page was literally just a page for myself and my cat Cheetos, and then it became a Jurassic Park page with Cheetos, the Cheetosaurus Rex, and it's exciting to think that like one movie like opened up the world to a lot of us. And I have so many friends that I'm so thankful for because of this one film. The main one is Jurassic Park, but Jurassic World, it's like, let's put it this way. The main one, Jurassic Park, like set the tone for all our lives. But it was Jurassic World that unified us, you know? And look, we're not that far away from Rebirth. And to think that before Jurassic World ever happened, there was like this huge gap of time that we didn't know what Jurassic really was, in a way. It was a film that we loved, a trilogy that we all loved, and then it was dead for so long, and we didn't know what was going to come of it. And I just like, I think back at like that summer before, that year before, like when everything was like, you know, when the ideas were flowing and we got little glimpses of what they were doing. I remember the first post, it said Nublar, and it was a picture of Hawaii, and Colin Trevorrow had posted that, and that was the first official image that we had that Jurassic World was being made. Because there was a lot of fakes through the years, I'll tell you that. People were making some fake posters, and I remember one time somebody jotted down a fake Jurassic Park 4 on one of those signs in Hollywood that they were filming in there, and it was fake. And we all believed it was happening, but it was fake. And I remember hearing people ask Spielberg through the years, hey, and he would say, yeah, Jurassic Park is happening. And we were like, when? when, man? When is it happening? And little bits of like news like that would hype up everybody in Jurassic Park Legacy. Back in the day, it was a big forum for Jurassic fans. And I remember being on there, and I made a few friends from there. But it was really Jurassic World that really tied the bow. And now I have these friendships for life with so many people. And like, I could start naming some, but the thing is, like, there's a lot on the list. So you know who you are, and it's just exciting that we're going right into a new era of Jurassic, and I'm ready for it, man. You know, so yeah, happy anniversary, happy birthday, Jurassic World, a film that really just solidified this fandom, and I love that film. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next one.
Whoa, Zach. Last time I saw you, you were like, that must have been what, 3-4 years ago?
7 years, but you know, close.
Hello, Brad. Hello, Jurassic Park Podcast. Hello, everybody. This is Victoria, Victoria's Cantina, and I'm calling in honor of Jurassic World's 10th anniversary. I cannot believe it has been 10 years since Jurassic World hit theaters. What a wonderful time that was in the Jurassic Park community. It was a great time to get back into Jurassic, to connect with everybody in this wonderful community who was doing their own thing, creating content, posting on Twitter at the time, sharing their videos on YouTube of the brand new toys and collectibles, and just talking about our love for this amazing franchise. And wow, 10 years. It's gone by really quickly, I've got to say. We've had some films along the way. We've had a lot of merchandise along the way, a few special events along the way. And it's just incredible what Jurassic World did to reinvigorate this franchise and give it new life and bring all of us together. I just got to say, Jurassic Park Podcast has been an absolute staple of the Jurassic community since then, especially in 2015. It was really an anchor that all of us sort of came together around, and it was an honor to be on in that very first year since Jurassic World came out, and it's great to still be talking about Jurassic World. I'm really looking forward to Rebirth. I'm really looking forward to new toys. And thank you for all you do for the community, Jurassic Park Podcast, and all the fantastic people in this community. Everyone is amazing. Thank you guys so much. And here's to another 10 years.
We shouldn't be here. And there's 5 dinosaurs.
Aren't you supposed to be a genius or something? Look, 1, 2, 3, 4.
5.
Hey everyone, this is Aaron Beyer, and I just wanted to give a call and just kind of talk about 10 years of Jurassic World. Like, it's kind of crazy that we're already there. When was that, 2015? So, I mean, yeah, just to talk about it, you know, I was working on film at the time, and I think like the Jurassic Renaissance actually started with Jurassic Park 3D, and then they immediately greenlit a 4th installment. And I remember thinking like, oh no, it's gonna have these goofy mutants that they've been talking about forever. And I think Trevorrow did a great job working on that movie. Like, we actually had a pretty scary raptor scene. The Indominus wasn't too egregious, and it kind of made sense with chaos theory and everything. For chaos effect, or whatever that toy line was. Anyway, yeah, and it's hard to believe that like I found the Jurassic Park podcast because of Jurassic World. Just my excitement kind of coming back into the full swing, looking for someone who's talking about it. And you know, we used to joke that Brad's podcast might as well have been the official deal for the franchise, because it just sounded so good. You know, Brad was great to have me on the show, and we talked about Jurassic Park Kenner toys. I think that was our first episode. And then, yeah, let's see. So like since then, I've had the opportunity to go to the Jurassic World live tour, and we met some people from the Jurassic Park community. I've talked to some people from Mattel. We did like a Mattel stint. So, you know, I've met some great people from just being a fan of the franchise, and I've made some great friendships. So hard to believe it's been 10 years. Super happy to have worked on 3 Jurassic movies in my career. So, you know, here's to another 10 years. You know, hopefully Rebirth does really well, and we get more Jurassic movies in the future. All right, thanks a lot. Bye.
Hey there, I'm Jimmy Fallon. Welcome aboard the Gyrosphere, an amazing machine made possible by science. Your safety is our main concern, which is why you're behind our invisible barrier system, which protects you from things like Dilophosaurus venom. One drop of this can paralyze you, so watch out. Is this real? It is?
Hey, it's Neems, the movie poster guy in Jurassic World. The last 10 years of Jurassic World have meant so much to me, and I know so many fans out there, because it is the resurgence of such an iconic franchise. And I just remember being so excited that there was going to be new products and toys and posters and all kinds of things. And the fact that we are now in a new era of Jurassic World again, I just feel like we're so lucky to be able to be a part of it. And I feel like all the fans come together, dinosaur fans out there, paleontologists, all that kind of stuff. It's a really cool thing to be a part of. And I don't know, it's really cool to see that Jurassic World remains one of the biggest franchises in the movie industry, which is incredible. And I'm grateful that I've gotten to be a part of it with my designs and different things that I do with Jurassic World. And I know that there's so many people out there that work so hard on these movies and the marketing and so much more. So I'm just very grateful for Jurassic World. Happy 10 years.
What kind of dinosaur they cooked up in that lab?
Hey everybody. Hey Brad, thanks for doing this. Brent Capel here, Jurassic World survivor and former geneticist Ryan Crest. I just can't believe it's been 10 years. Thinking back on what it was like for the 14-year gap between Jurassic Park 3 and, Jurassic World, and just how small the fan base felt, in that time. You knew there were fans. There were sites like the Jurassic Park Podcast out there that we could gather at and discuss the movies, but you didn't see Jurassic Park t-shirts just walking around, and it wasn't even easy to get them at the time. You'd have to go to like the theme parks and things to find merchandise to wear for the movies, and now Jurassic is everywhere. I just went to the store yesterday, and I saw it on probably 10 different products, and 10 different shirts, and 50 different toys, and it's amazing. We've got cartoons now. We've got, small spin-offs like Battle at Big Rock. It's just been a great time to be a fan. I just feel so lucky to have been a small part of, this first movie 10 years ago. And I'm still just excited to see Jurassic Park, number 7 now in a month. It's amazing that this franchise is just, going as strong as ever. And, I hope we have another 50 years of Jurassic ahead of us. So, thank you, Brad, again, for having this channel and entertaining all of us. And I've got a little Jurassic fan of my own now, so I've secured you another generation of listeners. Happy Jurassic June, everyone. I hope we all enjoy Rebirth.
Corporate felt genetic modification would up the wow factor.
They're dinosaurs. Wow enough.
Not according to our focus groups. The Indominus Rex makes us relevant again.
The Indominus Rex.
Hey everyone, Stephen Ray Morris here, wishing Jurassic World a happy 10-year anniversary. Penny Lane as well. And thank you so much, Brad, for putting this together, because I think we really should take the time and remember Jurassic World, all the iconic moments. And I think something that so many fans, especially fans who were a kid when Jurassic Park 3 came out, and then were an adult when Jurassic World finally came out, that thing that we'd always been dreaming of, a functional park. It's just, there's nothing quite like it, and I think that's why Jurassic World set the template and is something we've been chasing, achieved in Camp Cretaceous. Like, we wouldn't have Camp Cretaceous without Jurassic World. And just the notion of that functioning park, knowing every little detail, from Margaritaville to all the different pens, and just life at a functioning theme park filled with dinosaurs is just so cool. Yeah, I don't know. And I also have to just, it's the kind of thing that, between our childhood, posting on the Dan's JP3 forums and, doing fan fiction or being like, oh, when is the next one going to come out? Jurassic World really gave us, I think, what we all wanted. And for me, at least, again, was also a place for Jurassic Park fans to all come together in the modern era. And so many of my friends I know now are because Jurassic World was being like, oh, there are other Jurassic Park fans out there. We're not just kind of in hidden places on the internet. Like, Jurassic Park is the biggest movie of all time, and Jurassic World not only brought all of us together, but created a whole new generation of Jurassic fans. So, and also that great Mosasaurus just jump right at the end is still one of the most iconic scenes in any Jurassic movie. So happy 10 years, Jurassic World.
We needed something scary and easy to pronounce. You should hear a 4-year-old try to say Archaeornithomimus.
We should hear you try to say it.
Hey, it's Yaroslav here. Just calling to celebrate 10 years of Jurassic World. Just off the top of the head, it's, the best thing about that movie coming out is, what it's done for the franchise, but more importantly, all the fans that kind of lived, and their, own islands, if you will, for like 15 or 14 years or whatever it was between JP3 and, for that movie to come out at the time when, social media was happening, it was a perfect storm for us to all kind of meet each other online and eventually meet each other in person, and just cultivate a really great community of like just super fans that are just creative in their own ways, and it's been beautiful. So yeah, I'm really happy for that, and just happy that it's been going strong since. And the movie was fantastic. It was huge when it came out. Obviously, broke records. So, on a box office level, it just proved that Jurassic still has a very strong place. And dinosaurs obviously have a strong place in our hearts. So, super grateful for what Spielberg and Colin and Frank Marshall and everybody, what they've done and kept going for 10 years plus. So here's to another 10 years and more. And hopefully Jurassic World Rebirth will be a great movie, another installment that we all enjoy. And hopefully we'll keep getting more of these. Take care.
You know that I'm not at liberty to reveal the asset's genetic makeup. Modified animals are known to be unpredictable.
Just kill people, Henry.
That's unfortunate.
I can't believe it's been 10 years. It doesn't feel like it's been 10 years since Jurassic World came out, but it has, and it's kind of crazy. So, what does this mean? Well, for the longest time, I kind of felt alone in terms of my love of the Jurassic franchise. Social media wasn't around when the movie came out, and it wasn't around for, Lost World and JP3. So having a Jurassic movie come out when we had social media was a complete game changer. And because of the renewed interest in Jurassic, I was able to meet so many amazing people and to be able to share all my love for this franchise, worldwide. And it's been absolutely incredible. So I guess I want to thank Universal for giving us Jurassic World and giving the fans, all new characters and dinosaurs and adventures to love and to grow with. And I mean, after Jurassic World, we got the rest of the movies in the trilogy. We have a new movie coming out. We got Chaos Theory. We got Camp Cretaceous. I mean, the list goes on, and I'm here for it, because without Jurassic World, I don't think any of that would have been possible. Just like without Jurassic Park, none of the rest would have happened. So it's been 10 years. I can't believe it. It's just, I love this movie so much, and I love this fandom and this franchise so much. And I just want to say thank you, Jurassic World. Thank you for changing my life. I love it.
How many more people have to die before this mission starts to make sense to you?
It's not a mission. It's a field test.
This is an InGen situation now.
Hello everyone, Connor here from Dino DNA with my thoughts on 10 years of Jurassic World. First up, absolutely insane that it's been 10 years already. I felt like I was waiting for Jurassic Park 4, which turned out to be Jurassic World, for most of my life at the time. I'd spent pretty much most of my childhood after Jurassic Park 3 was just waiting for the next Jurassic film. For the first few years, playing Operation Genesis, building, a built-up park, imagining what that could be like. And then kind of the hope kind of died, by about 2010. Then there was the Telltale game, and it was like, oh, something might be happening. And yeah, it was just unreal that the film had actually was coming out, and it was actually in development. That just felt so unreal. Given most of my life, I was waiting for another Jurassic film, and had pretty much given up hope. That whole part of the before, as Brad calls it, was so exciting for Jurassic World. And then the hype for the marketing was unreal, seeing that it was going to be a real functioning park with all the classic species from Isla Nublar that was coming back, all the stuff that Colin confirmed on Twitter, like hashtag no feathers, scouting Isla Nublar, all that stuff was so exciting. And then I live in the UK, but I was in Canada and New York just before the film came out, and
being able to see all of the merchandise in like Times Square, like all the posters, and then seeing like the Lego sets in the shops, all the Barbasol tie-ins. It was truly unreal. Like the San Diego Comic-Con poster that came out with the Raptor, all of that stuff. And then when the film actually came out, I went to go see it with my dad, who I'd seen the previous films with. I was 19 at the time, but I was wearing a t-shirt I got when I was 12 from Universal Islands of Adventure in Florida. It was a Jurassic Park t-shirt. It was the only one that I owned at the time, but it was like I dragged it out, stretched it out, and yeah, I went to go see it in that, and it was truly incredible seeing that film in the cinema. I saw it 4 times, but that first time, you know, the return of all those classic dinosaur designs, the functioning park, the music as well. I teared up a few times in that movie when Gray throws open the doors and the music swells, but then also later on as well in the credits. And then seeing Rexy come out at the end and have that throwdown was just so cool. And yeah, it was an amazing film. Like, even looking back on it, it's a really fun movie. Like, of the Jurassic World trilogy, I think it remains definitely my favorite, just because of how much it really does feel like a continuation of the first ones, while keeping things fresh and new. And it's just a roller coaster ride of a film, which is super fun to be on. And the legacy that it spawned, if it wasn't for Jurassic World and the success that it made at the box office, we wouldn't have like the Mattel toy line, we wouldn't have the Jurassic World Evolution series, the other movies. But then also it's rebuilt the franchise for the community as well. So like this podcast, See Jurassic Right, Collect Jurassic Outpost, all these places where folks can kind of get together and share their excitement for the franchise. It's all kind of thanks to the staying power of Jurassic World and what it created with that first film. So yeah, really happy to celebrate 10 years of Jurassic World. Would love to hear what everyone else has to share about the film.
If you need me, I'll be right up front. Just open that window. Okay? Put your seatbelts on. Okay, so just hold hands.
Hello, Jurassic friends. This is Caleb Burnett, and I just want to say that 10 years of Jurassic World means the entire world to me. Jurassic is my favorite thing on the planet, and it obviously dwindled a little bit during that 15-year gap that we all experienced, but when it exploded onto the scene again and became such a massive thing in culture and community and everything, I'm just so grateful that happened, and I can't believe that it's been 10 years, but over the last 10 years I have just fallen even more deeply in love with the Jurassic franchise, and its music and its toys and its dinosaurs, and most of all, honestly, I've just connected with so many amazing people over the last decade through Jurassic. Definitely not least among those is Brad, the host of this Jurassic Park podcast, and shout out to him for everything that he does and just being an awesome person. But I love the Jurassic community. It's a great thing, and I enjoy so much being a part of it and seeing all of the amazing people in it. And we wouldn't be here without Jurassic World. And I can't believe that it's been 10 years. So happy 10 years to Jurassic World.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you for your patience. The next ferry will be leaving in 45 minutes. If you require immediate medical attention, please report to the nearest health service.
Is this what you had in mind?
Hi, Jennifer here. What does 10 years of Jurassic World mean to me? That is such an impossible question because it means everything to me. And I'm sure everyone is going to say it means everything to them because it does mean a lot and everything to a lot of people. But for me especially, I mean, 10 years ago, I saw the movie, right? And it changed the entire trajectory of my life completely in every possible aspect. I started BDH Network. I met so many people through there. I taught myself a lot of coding, and I learned a lot about myself of what I could do and how hard I could push myself and how dedicated to something I could be. And that was the most magical time. I went on so many adventures and got to do so many things and meet so many people and get to know Bryce and really get close to her and her people. That's one aspect, and it's already a measurable life change. I met my husband in the fandom, and we got married, and in our wedding party we're also fans, fellow fandom friends. We had them in our wedding party. They came to the wedding. The guests were also friends of ours who traveled from all over the world, multiple countries, all over the United States. I mean, it's that alone. So that's 2, 3. I can't even count how much this movie has affected my entire trajectory. And now I have 2 boys that exist solely because this movie exists. I have a house. I have everything that's in my life right now. Every piece of it stems from going to the theater and seeing Jurassic World 10 years ago. I know, like I said, I know it means a lot to everybody, but it literally is my existence right now came and is based on that experience 10 years ago. And also this podcast, I did this for, I don't even know, 8 years, 9 years, 7 years, something like that, weekly with Brad, who is such a great friend, a lifelong friend of mine. I love him so much. And I miss him. I miss talking to him. It was a highlight of my week for so many years. And I am so grateful for all of these friendships and life experiences and literal life trajectory change that came from this movie a decade ago.
So right now Brad is actually running to give someone a ticket so they can get in as well. But we're sitting in the movie theater, or I'm sitting here in the movie theater talking to myself. That's chaos.
All right, in a theater, let's do this.
I predict someone's gonna die.
Yeah, there's gonna be a few dinosaur on human deaths. Human on dinosaur, maybe? I don't know. Maybe dinosaur on dinosaur?
Do you think they're gonna do the Lycine contingency, or is that out of the movies entirely?
I think it's gone.
You think that?
I think the Lycine contingency is gone.
Because I guess they figured that out in the Lost World, right?
Yeah.
They were just there.
Yeah.
And they continued. Okay.
Do we think we're gonna see the Barbasol can?
I mean, it would be remarkable if we did, but
Didn't they do special edition cans?
They did, but
I think that's a great branding technique. I don't necessarily know.
It could be trying to tie in though.
I feel like from a marketing perspective, if they're doing something like that, there may be a call out in the movie.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a good point from someone, very familiar with marketing.
In the biz.
In the biz.
Do we think the Indominus and the T-Rex are going to face off?
I think they have to.
Is Chris Pratt gonna ride a dinosaur?
So who's going to win though? Who's going to win that fight?
I mean,
But
I hope our
well, probably not.
Yeah, I think we have some hopes here.
I mean, I hope the T-Rex.
Yeah, original
because
T-Rex.
That would be great to almost see like a.
She always saves the day.
Reenactment. Yeah. I don't want to say a reenactment, but something, to kind of.
You don't want her to throw him or he or she into a bone of T-Rex? Well, because there's actually, in this movie, there's a Spinosaurus bone set up. So could we see Miss T-Rex throwing the I-Rex?
That could be cool.
That could be awesome.
That could be cool. Do you think we'll see the Stegoceratops?
Oh God, the Stegoceratops. I hope not.
You hope not? It looked awesome.
Not. It does look awesome.
The toy looks fantastic.
The toy looks cool, but in the movie, I don't know. I don't know if I want to see that.
Are there any actors from the original movies that are going to appear in this?
That's a good point. Thank you.
Enjoy your movie.
Thanks. Yeah,
Any
that's a
of
good
the
point.
existing characters?
Do we want to see? Or, I don't know.
Malcolm would probably be the most...
yeah, Malcolm would be the most likely. But I think if we do see anybody, it's going to be on, like, news clips on like, TV saying, like,
No, probably
it's 10-year anniversary of this park. Don't
How
go.
about Hammond before...
Before?
he
Nah,
no?
I don't think so. The only thing we're going to see is a statue.
A statue?
But I
Okay.
think it'll focus on him, because I did hear a comment at one point that says, like, during the movie you'll hear... or you'll see, like, him in a happy light, and then later on you'll see his face, the same face, looks more menacing when it's, a bad situation. So what happens with the mosasaur?
What happens?
Yeah, because, I mean, it's contained.
It's got... But there's, like, an underwater viewing thing, so, like, does that, like...
Does it
burst,
spill?
like...
Yeah.
Where would it go, though? Where would the, you know...
Yeah, who would be down there, and why would that thing go crazy enough to, we see in the trailer, there's a scene where one of the pteranodons is carrying a woman over the water and drops her.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's about the extent that we'll see them.
It's a cool idea, though, because we haven't seen any, like, sea dinosaurs at this point.
No. I don't know. I think it could breach, but I don't know what would taunt it. Maybe one of the other dinosaurs.
Maybe a kid gets too close. That'd be cool.
There's gonna be kids too close the whole time. So.
Will there still be all female dinosaurs, or will the genetic mutations happen?
Yeah, are they breeding on their own? Is that allowed?
I think so. Yeah, there's definitely breeding on their own. That's what I'm going with.
Mixed breeds.
But they had tracking devices, no? They had tracking devices.
Tracking now though.
I mean, she ate it out of herself in the
yeah,
clips.
That's true. That's
so I mean,
point.
they have to at least get them contained somehow. Yeah, she remembered.
Do the kids live to see another day?
You can't kill kids in a movie like this.
I don't know. I heard it's kind of dark.
In terms of just filmmaking, you can't kill
Could
kids.
Chris Pratt be John Hammond's grandson?
Grandson?
Timmy? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Because his name is different.
Don't think so.
Maybe he's another grandson that just
The other grandson. Well, Timmy's parents did get divorced, so maybe he's a stepson.
That's a stretch.
I think it's a little far-fetched.
Will either of those kids make an appearance in this movie?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'd say no. They did in the second one.
They were in the Lost World for like 3 minutes, not even. It's like 30-second clip.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I mean, it
and they were already pretty old. I don't think they're going to be anywhere in there. So what is the end of this movie? Is it left open? Is there potential? Is there potential for?
I think there's definitely potential for a sequel, but I think they're keeping it closed.
Okay.
Like its own defined movie.
So it's not going to be like a part 1, part 2.
No, I don't think so.
You don't
It's
think?
not a part
Okay.
1, part 2. I think it's just one part. That's it.
Okay.
But as far as where it ends,
yeah, where does it end?
Where does it end? Does it end with another helicopter? I feel like every movie ends with a helicopter ride.
It absolutely does.
I mean,
yeah.
even in Lost World, there is a helicopter ride at the end, but it's still got like 15 more minutes after that.
That's true. Like, you can't leave the kids.
Welcome to First
Good.
Love.
All right, that's it.
See you later.
Bringing you what's new in entertainment, the hottest screen.
Life will not be contained. Life breaks free, it expands to new territories, and crashes through barriers painfully, maybe even dangerously, but, well, there it is. There it is. I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
That'll do it for another episode of the Jurassic Park Podcast. We appreciate each and every one of you for listening and sharing in our love of Jurassic World. The movie that really
reinvigorated everything, kicked it all off again, and gave us a place to call home over the past 10 years. A huge thank you to absolutely everybody involved in creating that movie, being a part of it, conjuring it up. We all really, really appreciate it. And a huge thank you to each and every person who was a part of this episode. We made it happen. We got here. We did it. There were so many people involved. I'm so happy all of you came here. And we got to hear from Jen again. Oh, yes. Heck yes. Jurassic Mailbag. Yeah, I love it. Oh, let's get Jen back sometime soon again. But thank you so much to each and every one of you for sending in your audio clips and being a part of this. That goes out to Muzamil, to Tom, to Jay and Victoria, Aaron and Neems and Brent, Steven and Yaroslav and Natalie, Connor, Caleb, Jennifer. Wow. Y'all did it. And I think it shows that everybody out there had a great time with Jurassic World, and it changed everybody in some way. And I think that's pretty obvious. So if you have those same feelings, we totally understand. But that is 10 years of Jurassic World. And I think we've all kind of had the same sentiment. Here's to 10 more, here's to 20, 30 more, who knows? However many more years we have to celebrate this film and, get excited for the future and just honestly, however much time we have left celebrating the Jurassic franchise, or not even just celebrating, but seeing it out there prominently in front of us on display. And again, we have Jurassic World to really thank for that, because it was dead for so long. 14 years of nothing and just whispers on the wind and just praying that something could happen. But it's back and we're still getting it to this day. But let's go ahead and begin to wrap up here. So thank you, as always, to our podcast host, Podomatic, for giving us a place to upload this podcast each and every week. And like I didn't really get a chance to promote it before, but thank you so much to everybody who watches our YouTube lives each and every week. We really, really appreciate it. Be sure to tune into those every Wednesday, 9 p.m. EST, and go subscribe to the newsletter for all things my podcasts, writing about Jurassic and other franchises and all that good stuff. Please go subscribe to that at JurassicParkPodcast.com/newsletter. And please, everybody out there, know that you matter. Stay safe, be kind, fight for representation, change, and equality in the Jurassic franchise, but more importantly, outside of it, in the real world. It's especially needed these days. Let's be sure to make this world a better place. I'm going to go ahead and hand things off to myself for the outro. Take it away.
Saddle up, let's get this movable feast underway.
Continue the conversation with us on Threads and Instagram. Watch our content on TikTok and YouTube. Find us on the web at JurassicParkPodcast.com. You'll find today's episode show notes, articles, contributor bios, and so much more. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, our website, and wherever else podcasts are found. So please be sure to follow along and share with your friends, family, and fellow Jurassic fans. If you haven't already, please give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We will read your Apple reviews at the end of most episodes, so be sure to spare no expense. Don't miss our Wednesday night live streams, toy hunts, reviews, in-depth bonus content, gameplay, event and theme park coverage on our YouTube channel. If you want to get a hold of us or participate in the Jurassic Mailbag, you can fill out the contact form on our website or send emails and MP3s to JurassicParkPod@gmail.com. Feel free to call our voicemail line at any time to leave us a message or just to say hi. That number is 732-825-7763. Thank you so much for listening, and as always, enjoy.